Can you hear me,
Yes,
Dana?
we can. Yes.
Yeah, so Jack Dorsey is talking about how it's much bigger than just one account. He's speaking about Donald Trump, and he says it pretty explicitly here. This is obtained by a whistleblower or employee currently on those conference or video conference calls with the CEO. He says we're going to be going beyond the inauguration every day, every week, every month moving forward. It's like we're shrinking the Overton window. That means the range of acceptable ideas and discourse to include voices that are not explicitly right-wing. So every one of you, myself included, have probably saw your Twitter followers shrink by what, 10%, 15% over the last week or two?
Oh, I've lost
I
over
went from
100,000. Yeah.
I went from 1.1 million or 1.2 million to 900,000. So they're retroactively getting rid of accounts that are linked to what they would view as discourse that is not acceptable. We don't know how that's defined. What Dorsey is saying here is that they're going to go far beyond where they draw that goalpost currently. So they're going to include moderate right voices, and we're getting some insights that into how they're operating. And again, this was obtained on a video conference between the CEO and some of the top executives. And what I'm seeing, Dana, is a crisis of conscience amongst tech engineers. They're kind of all coming to Veritas right now, and what I'm trying to do is get these people to go on the record to be filmed. But this is not the first tape we received, and we'll be having more installments in the coming days ahead. This thing was trending on Twitter, hashtag Veritas Exposed, and I made a little video of our old friend Andrew Breitbart with hashtag war, because how amazing is it that not only were we not banned on Twitter for breaking the whistleblower story of Jack Dorsey, but it was trending on its own platform at number 3 or 4. So I think this is, a lot of people listening probably feel rather hopeless, cynical, nothing matters, it's hard to make a difference. But I really believe that exposing these tech giants in this way is probably the only thing that they fear. It's the only thing to hold their feet to the fire that we can do, is to expose what they really intend to do here.
You mentioned the whistleblowers that are coming from these companies and that are coming to you because they're dissatisfied with the way things are operating in Silicon Valley and with Twitter and with Facebook. So is that maybe the best route that we have right now? And then to that point, are there enough people in these companies that would ever prevail upon these CEOs like Jack Dorsey to maybe kind of check their conscience, check their ethics a bit, and do an inventory as to the fairness of their practices?
These are great questions. I think whistleblowing, as I've said to you before, it's not so much that the whistleblower is betraying their organization, is that they feel the organization has betrayed the principles that got the employees started in the first place. I do believe this is the only remaining solution to us right now, because the political system is so broken. And I hear from libertarians that these are private companies, and you are correct. They are private companies. They have a right to do anything, but they have a monopoly on discourse, and they're the new town square. And in fact, this is how our own government distributes their messages. This is how our representatives, our elected representatives, Dana, distribute their messaging. A lot of people are going to Telegram right now. We use Telegram. We use Signal. One of the things I'm finding is that if they ban me from Twitter, what I intend to do is distribute these clips on, like, say, a Telegram, and then have our hundreds of thousands of users embed the clips back into Twitter. So it's kind of guerrilla asymmetrical distribution. But I think the only remaining solution right now, as far as I can see, is to have these insiders go on the record because they have skin in the game. I think it's a very powerful thing for patriots who work for Twitter or Google or any of these things to go on the record, sit down, 60-minute style, and say, I am willing to give up my livelihood for the public's right to know what is happening. And by the way, this guy, Jack Dorsey, I could just say he's just an odd duck. I mean, I think he's meditating in some log cabin right now. It's just bizarre.
I thought he was in a yurt somewhere in French Polynesia.
A yurt? I mean, it's even more bizarre. I mean, he's not running the company in San Francisco. He's meditating in a yurt, and he's sort of saying, we need to go to the extreme. So I think the pendulum can swing back here if we expose these people. And I've had more than a dozen tech people in the last couple of days reach out to me. So I think there's hope to be found somewhere here.
Yeah, we're talking with James O'Keefe of Project Veritas.
Yes, even yesterday, we got that tape at, I think it was 11 a.m. or 12 Eastern time, and we published it at 6 p.m. So this is very leveraged. These insiders, whistleblowers, usually undercover work takes months, and yesterday it took 6 hours. So
wow.
We've had, when we published the tape yesterday, we had a few more people reach out to us. So it's kind of this momentum that we're building because people trust us. So again, if you're watching this and you have a friend, a family member, you know what to do. Call Ghostbusters, VeritasTips@protonmail.com, and we will get your story out.
There you go. James O'Keefe doing the real work. Grateful for the work that you all do out there. And James, as always, thank you. We'll be watching.